If you're in the UK, good evening. If you're in the US or Canada, good afternoon. If you're in Australia or Japan, good morning. It is, of course, Saturday night again. It's time for AFW Backstage. Intern, let's hit that music, shall we? I'm sorry, Darla, you looked a bit blown away with that video. You all right there?
I'm kind of offended, honestly, that Brie Mode, who I beat, is on the intro, and I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of feels a little shady.
Ouch, a little bit sour there. Welcome, guys. It's, of course, Saturday night again. It's time for AFW Backstage. The person to my left, introduce yourself.
I am Dollywood. How's everybody doing today? You can't answer. That's okay. So I'm Dollywood from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I really love wrestling. This is my first time on this show, and I am stoked to be here. Thank you so much for having me, Liam.
Absolutely, of course. Welcome to the show. And, of course, the person below me, he can talk to for himself. Go ahead.
Do I need any introduction? Do I need an introduction? For I am the former AFW World Champion, the man behind the attack on PC. Ladies and gentlemen, the prestigious one, Luke Anthony. Boom!
Boom. What an intro. And, of course, we've got somebody obviously backstage, obviously, to help us out. It is, of course, Rich Southwood. What's happening, my man?
Hello, Lord Rich Southwood, your two-time Limitless champion, here, ready to make your day.
Wow. We've got some really great talent. Guys, how are we all?
I'm doing well.
Dollywood, what about you?
I was doing okay until I saw the Colts in the background. Ugh. Let's go Jags, baby. I'm missing the Jags game for this, just for the record.
Oh,
G-Man for the win. G-Man for the win.
Bruh, what are you? Is that American football? This is America. We're talking about football, not football.
NYG.
Oh, the Giants.
NYG. For life.
Get out of here, you peasants. It is sunshine in Jacksonville.
Wow. Awesome. Of course, this is AFW Backstage. So before we get into some like accolades and stuff, we're going to talk about some wrestling news. Now, the biggest story to come out of this week is, sadly, we sadly lost a great wrestler in this guy right here, Jay Briscoe. Rich Southwood, I'll start with you on this one. I mean, it's pretty sad, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's a tragedy. It's terrible. He was a pillar of the tag team wrestling community. Obviously very beloved by anyone who knew him. I have great respect for him, for the family man that he was. That's something that rings very true to the superstar's heart. It's just a tragedy all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. Dollywood?
I think Rich said it really, really well. It looked like today. It looked like there was really good news about at least one of his daughters. I don't know if it was both of them, but at least one of his daughters is doing much, much better from their accident. And I would just like to take a minute to say how important it is for everyone to wear their seatbelt. Please, please, please wear your seatbelt when you're in a vehicle.
Definitely. Walsh, obviously, your thoughts on this?
The thing is about the Briscoes is that they were on the cusp, the very cusp of making it great as a phenomenal tag team. As you know, as Ring of Honor, they were founding members of Ring of Honor. They were in the very first match in the very first show, and their matches with FTR last year was exceptional. And you know, yes, there has since been politics at play with Warner Media and AEW and about what they were and were not allowed to do, and maybe capping it to a degree what they could have achieved. But the Briscoes will always be the Briscoes. Them boys are always going to be them boys. And, you know, I think even a lot of wrestlers across the landscape of promotions, even WWE, which, you know, talk about Vince McMahon and all of the latest updates with him. The fact that you have Seth Rollins, formerly known as Tyler Black, come out and talk about him, and Cesaro and all the others just praising him. Just, yes, it's lovely to see.
Yeah. What's obviously, Dollywood, your thoughts when it comes to Warner Media obviously declining the tribute show?
Man, that's I don't know if it's maybe just like the Southerner in me wanting to like be polite to everyone I meet. That's just the tackiest thing I've ever heard in my life, man. Like, somebody died. A father is gone. A husband is gone. Somebody that was really important to the wrestling world as a whole is gone. It's just a slap in the face. I just think it's so tacky. It's so ugly. They're already such a big conglomerate, and you know, it's hard to, that's almost like boycotting Nestle or something. They're such a huge player, but it makes me want to be like, no more. Absolutely, I don't want to support these people. I don't want to have anything to do with it. So if I know that I am supporting them, I will not be supporting them because I just think it's tacky and ugly and awful.
Yeah. Rich, what about your thoughts on this?
I personally feel the same way that Dollywood does. I think it's shows a lack of compassion. I guess in being devil's advocate a little bit, they are a business, so they have to be aware of, I guess, who represents them and the things that they've said. It really sucks. And that's the move that they went with, but I don't agree with it personally. I think that it should have been handled differently on Warner Brother Discovery's part, but I guess as a little fish down here in AFW pond, we can't really do too much about it. But I mean, I'm glad that TK did something though, even if it's going to be, and it's free on Honor Club. It's not being charged for. So I think that's fantastic. I would rather focus on what TK is able to do and what he can do rather than the negative, I guess, in the situation.
Yeah. Walsh, you got anything to add on this?
Yeah, at least we've got a Ring of Honor tribute show that's going out on Fight TV for free over this weekend. I'm not quite sure. And I think let's address the point in the middle of all of this argument. It's a comments made, I think, by Jay or the other Briscoe.
Yep.
Jay Briscoe, the comments that he made, you know, we are more aware of what wrestlers have said in the past. And, you know, hello, Ric Flair. He's going to be on Monday Night Raw on Raw 30th anniversary on Monday. Whether he should be there or not is up for debate. But Jay Briscoe has profoundly apologized, and whether you can forgive and forget is a question that the wrestling scene needs to deliberate. And in the same regards, and, you know, cover your ears, ladies and gentlemen, talking about Chris Benoit. There'll be one of these days, we'll be, you know, it might be 50 years down the line, it might be 100 years down the line. Conversations about Chris Benoit will need to be had.
Mm-hmm.
The same regards about comments and the same regards about actions. So really, it's about where's the line drawn? Where is what's acceptable? When do we move on? And wrestling is one of those products where they are, yeah, there are some questionable things out there, and I haven't even mentioned the speaking out movement. And about where we see it and we get past that, really. So, yeah.
No, I think that's well said. I mean, that's really, really great. Wise words. I fully agree with everything you've just said there. So, next story we've got is now on Friday Night SmackDown. The 5-5 Funhouse made its return. Dollywood, I'll start with you on this one. Your thoughts?
I'm excited because the prestigious one is excited. I think that his reaction is my favorite part of them returning. That's great. Like, that's awesome. WWE is not super my thing, but it's great when someone who truly loves wrestling gets to make a return. So
let's not beat around the bush here, and because I've been giddy since the moment I watched it on SmackDown this morning. Bray Wyatt. A lot of people are saying his character's going stale, it's going boring. We haven't seen him wrestle and all this, and I understand how and why they're saying this. He debuted at Extreme Rules in October. It's now the middle of January, and he's only having his first match back next Saturday night. But Bray Wyatt is a storyteller, and the intricate details that have dribbed and drabbed each and every week with LA Knight, and now with Alexa Bliss, has created the narrative that every little twist and turn is actually starting to mean something. And Uncle Howdy's made an appearance. A lot of people saying it's going to be Bo Dallas. Imagine the pop if that's a reveal. Whether we get that at the Rumble, we get that at Mania in LA. That's loaded. But he is the master of his own narrative, and the Firefly Funhouse, for what it was worth, defined the lockdown period. That match against John Cena infinitely saved his career, because he is, he went from being squashed by Goldberg in Saudi Arabia to that 5-star match that just defined the realms of narrative and the little layers and details. And I'll go back to Joe Graham Jr.'s point about it taking forever and haven't been very interesting. Sometimes the best stories take their time. And we even on SmackDown last night, we're starting to see the intricate details of the bloodline between Sami and Roman. They allow it to breed, allow it to take its time, and then we'll get the payoff that we deserve, other than it just being good old-fashioned WCW in 2000, where a storyline would change every 30 seconds. It's got to take its time. It's got to breathe. And yeah, it's now given its time, and I look forward to the next chapter.
Yep, absolutely. So before we get Richard's comments, I think this. How do we answer this one, guys?
I mean, I don't even have to ask if that's a Canadian dumbass that's behind that account, because that dumbass Canadian asshole. I want to be a world champion.
I've just muted him.
He is evil. Anyone who says that Aaron deserves to be champion is nothing to me.
Rich, your thoughts on this 5-5 Funhouse?
Yeah, so I, like Dollywood, I don't really follow WWE that much. But I'm glad, I know that this is something that will make a lot of WWE fans happy. But I think isn't now, and a prestigious one, please correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, wasn't there a little bit of kind of like they didn't know what direction to go with him? That's why this is taking so long to build up. Is that true?
Is he for us?
Come on. He wasn't listening. He wasn't talking, so he wasn't listening. Look at that.
So I don't know. I heard that maybe perhaps they didn't quite know what direction to go, so maybe that's why it's taking so long. So I don't know. But I'm certainly happy for fans of his that they get something back that they want so much. I mean, he's definitely a storyteller, and I think that he does well there. So I think Triple H will book him right.
Absolutely, and I think the way that Bray Wyatt is in control of his destiny, and this pitch black match does seem a little bit silly, especially as it's been sponsored by Mountain Dew. But where do we go from Rumble to Mania, and the way that Alexa Bliss has heavily been linked? Where does she come into the fold? There's a lot more to be learned next Saturday night at the Rumble that will then lead into the storyline for me. Because let's not beat around the bush. We're now looking at a potential, situation where Bray Wyatt could plausibly win the Rumble, and Alexa Bliss could plausibly become Raw Women's Champion. And as much as
are we talking about your dreams or reality?
But this would be a chance for them to book Alexa and Bray properly and
Well,
show
if
them gold
I
around.
think that Bray winning the Rumble is a possibility if The Rock doesn't come back.
Apparently,
I think that's possible.
Apparently, he can't get fit.
That's what he said, and I'm like, it's got to be a cardio thing because obviously the dude's muscles has got muscles, so I'm not quite sure how that is, but it's got to be a cardio.
Shape, none of us could get in shape. We all just need to sit around with a cheesecake from now on because there's no point in any of us trying if he can't get in shape.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
But I could see that happening if that does indeed happen, because I think the rumor is that Roman's going to defend both belts at Mania, one against Cody probably, and one against The Rock.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We shall definitely see what.
Yeah.
So obviously, I've got one more story for the news. Is Tony Storm's heel turn? I'll start with Rich on this one. I was a bit disappointed in this personally, but what's your thoughts?
I'm not disappointed by it. I was a little confused just for the simple fact of was Shida the week before throwing in the kendo stick. Like, I thought that was going to lead to her turning heel and we get like a mafia boss or Yakuza boss style Shida, which I think would be amazing.
Wrong side. Yes.
But it's interesting. I think a lot of people are happy that Toni Storm is a heel now. A lot of people prefer her as a heel. With being Saraya, they're going to have to turn Hayter and Baker face if they're going to do this whole homegrown versus outsiders angle. Like, they're going to have to turn them face. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen, but I'm kind of in the waiting game right now to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, definitely. Dolly, what are your thoughts?
Rich absolutely said it best. It's going to take so many people turning, and I really like Toni Storm, and I love babyface. Everybody knows Dollywood loves a babyface, so I want for Toni Storm to be sweet forever. I want Hikaru Shida to be sweet forever, and I don't want anything to do with Britt Baker, so I want her to be a heel because I don't want to like her.
I love Britt Baker. She's my favorite.
Gosh. I got so this is not, that doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I very much so collect the action figures and stuff. And so we drew names this year for Christmas, and my sister's fiance's dad got me. And the only thing that he knows about me is that that I really like wrestling, and he does too. So it works out. But he got me the Britt Baker figure for Christmas. So when I opened it, I went DMD, and nobody got it except for my sweet boyfriend. Because I forced him to watch this. I think he's watching right now. So hello, Alex. I think he's downstairs watching while we do the show.
No problem. What's your thoughts on this?
3 words: women's blood and guts.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be pretty interesting.
Fair, okay.
Hey, Liam, can you pull up Haney's comment?
This one?
Yeah. So I think that with this heel turn, it still could lead to Mercedes Moné coming in down the line, maybe after Revolution, to set up for a blood and guts. I think maybe she wants to get her New Japan stuff out of the way first, but she's already being a heel in New Japan against Kairi Sane. So for her to come in with like an invasion type angle could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I think being just, what do you guys think?
I'm all for it. I think, like I said, women's blood and guts, and I see, I guess, an outsiders very, very a la to Inner Circle versus Pinnacle, where you do have Toni Storm as the leader of the outsiders versus the homegrown talent will be something that could really turn some heads at Revolution. And whether Mercedes Moné comes into the company or not, I think her 2023, if Wrestle Kingdom is anything to go by, is going to be extremely hot. So I don't think if she even needs to show up in AEW when she can carve herself out a career in New Japan first. That we'll really see her set the world alight again.
Yeah, well said, well said. So that pretty much wraps the news up. Before we obviously look at these two guys' accolades, we've got to say a massive thank you to our sponsor, Pyramid 2.0, sponsored by Sabre.
Dunder
I
Mifflin is a part of Sabre.
Sabre, Sabre. I always saying it because everybody's got their own version of this. I was saying
Sabre.
Sabre, Sabre.
Saber. It's time to
Sabre.
come home.
There you go. I've ordered one. I'm actually waiting for this in the post. I cannot wait. It apparently can do everything from gaming to music to absolutely everything, right?
I have mine.
Have you ever what?
I've had it for 3 weeks, and I've been playing the games nonstop. I'm telling you, it's out of this world. It's nothing like you've ever seen.
Well, you're not saying much on that one.
The power of the pyramid.
2
I mean,
point.
if you're really going to talk about diamonds,
Okay. Somebody doesn't watch the English or the American version of The Office.
I watched the US Office. I get the, you know, we're a wrestling show, right? And if we're gonna do a diamond cutter,
Okay, we're a wrestling.
Well, you can
show.
still do like Ray Fenix, Animo.
We are a wrestling show, so I got 2 words for you.
Move on.
Family
Well, that's
therapy.
not them, but yeah.
Right. So obviously, the next part of the show is we're going to talk about Dollywood's and Walsh's accolades. Rich, who should we do first?
Ladies first, always.
Ladies first. So Dollywood, if you look on the screen, you will see your accolades. You want to read them out, Rich?
Yeah, I can't see the first line because it's but it's something of Playboy Inc. Current member of TDS, defeated Brie Mode in a 9 Lives cat fight, formed short-lived trios known as Beauteous Desired Badasses with Brie Mode and Brittany Llewellyn, challenged for the trios titles at All Out, defeated Girl Trouble's Rose in the FN Women's World Championship tournament for the inaugural title, but lost to Queen Amber next round, needs to be on Mayhem, is beautiful, future women's champion, season 2 record of 7-3, and current season 3 record of 8-10.
Right. So I want to ask about the 9 Lives match. Please tell me how that came about.
Okay, so Brie is my most favorite frenemy. She and we're like 2 peas in a pod. We get along so well, but when it comes to AFW, no one is friends. So we kind of talked about things, and she's like really into cheetah print, which whatever. So she's really into cheetah print, and since it was a cat fight, it was a girl fight, you know, whatever. She wanted to call it our cat fight. Whatever, you can call it what you want. I still won. So
fair enough. Rich, which one do you want to ask Dollywood about?
I mean, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
About the second line in that accolades and about the TDS.
Okay.
yes.
Now, as a founding father of the Deadly Saints, as somebody who held our time between myself, that Canada and asswipe, and the man they used to call JFB.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you join such a corrupt, ruined stable that used to call themselves the TDS when they are just as lying, conniving, and evil that they are not worth to be called a group anymore? They do not deserve to hold any gold at all. But they were wiped off the face of the planet by the team that took me under their wing, called the Prestige.
Interesting. Dollywood, your response?
I'm just trying to figure out what fantasy world you live in to ask me that sort of question.
Fantasy? Fantasy, you weren't here for season 1. You weren't here when me, JFB, and Canada Dry, we were the triad. We were the triangle that held AFW together.
Oh, sorry, my intern's bringing me another drink. Thank you, sweet guy. Because I have to have several drinks to deal with you.
Do you really want to be part of an organization that are not going to push you to the extent that you should be? Or would you rather join a group that believe in you? That believe in your potential? And not just your results your win-loss record.
Maybe that comment might say something.
Well, that comes from the Canadian asshole. Of course we would say that.
I don't know. You just sound awful salty to me. And I mean, you were replaced. You are replaceable.
Ouch.
And I'm not. I think that it was a bit of a bidding war for me almost. I think that a lot of people were interested in having me. And I think maybe you're just a little salty that I picked them instead of you.
Interesting.
Can we call up my accolades now?
No.
Can we show this deluded woman?
Not ready for that. No. Rich,
No.
please
Wait your
ask me
turn.
about how I got so cute.
Well, I'm gonna guess that's genetics, so I was gonna go with something different. I was gonna go with I want to know about I want to know what is your plans to be the future women's champion? What's your strategy here? How are you gonna attain that?
Okay. Well, to quote someone that everyone here loves, wreck everyone and leave. That's how I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Straight to the point. Straight to the point.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Walsh, is anything you want to ask Dollywood about?
No further questions.
Okay. That's all from the thingy. So shall we look at Luke's now then, shall we? Here we go. Lovely image, by the way. He's a former one-time AFW World Champion, a former one-time North American Champion, a former one-time Limitless Champion, a former one-time Dark Champion, defeated Austin Lee in a 3 stages of Hell match that only lasted 2 stages, started at 2023 as the World Champion, biggest rivals Andrew Brown, Canada Dry, and Austin Lee, Season 1 record of 21 and 26, Season 2 record of 29 and 21, current record of 10 for 8, acquired in Mayhem Wreckage trade last December, had a losing record on Wreckage before being traded to Mayhem, been in AFW since 2020. I want to talk about, obviously, the trade. How did that all come about?
The trade? The trade? Do you mean when I was reunited with my father? When Dallas decided to bring me home? Benji didn't know how to book me. Benji didn't even understand what he had on his plate. But Dallas, when he brought me home, he immediately pushed me in the #1 contenders match. And then I went on to win the title. Yes, I lost it after 7 days. So what? But sometimes it's better to be in the chase than to be one that has the gold. But may I remind you, I am the one that never gives up. I am the prestigious one. And if my accolades don't speak for myself, then ladies and gentlemen, I am the one that should be worried about. I am the one that will always be the prestigious one. I'm the one you should be worried about. Boom!
We're going to get a copyright strike just for that. Rich, is anything you want to ask Luke about?
Yeah. First of all, before I ask my question, prestigious one, I would just like to say thank you so much for embarrassing the foundation in the manner that you did. I found it personally very gratifying after they cowardly took me out for 2 weeks. So I enjoyed that. It was must-see TV as far as I'm concerned. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. My question to you is just how wonderful did it feel to absolutely whip the crap out of Austin Lee?
The foundation. The foundation. Now they're trying to recruit me because I took out PCB. Caleb. The man who came into the tournament thinking he would be Mr. AFW. Now, Liam, you and I have known each other long enough to know that if you're going to prove yourself to be the man, you got to beat the one that has the balls and the strength and the promo to call himself one of the best.
So you decided to beat Caleb?
My record speaks for itself over the years. Now, let me tell you something. I took out Caleb to remind him who's best. Not for a favor for the foundation, but for me. So when Caleb decides to come crawling back, I'll only beat his ass. Just as I beat Austin Lee's ass 2-0 to nothing. 2-0 to 0 to become world champion.
Well said. Well said. Dollywood, anything else to look about with his accolades?
I don't really see anything worth asking about. Other than maybe, why are you so threatened by Canada Dry? You seem so salty and so against him. Obviously, Canada and I have sort of an alliance.
Because when you've been with a feud with somebody for as long as I have, then there's nobody you want to see more.
What sparked
to burn in hell, than to lose, than to somebody to see them fail.
I'm not really seeing
But
anything.
then that Canadian asswipe who runs his mouth, who thinks he's the man, who thinks he controls the company, who thinks that all of the career has been about him.
Does he
And
not? I mean, he is kind of the man. I'm not really seeing why you think you're better than him.
Any response?
Not over my dead body will I see Canada Dry succeed and get in the Hall of Fame.
Boy, I don't
Canada
know.
Dry is a Canada.
Where do you buy your audacity? At Costco or at BJ's or Sam's Club? I'm just trying to kind of figure it out so I can go and get this same audacity.
Shall we just sit back, Rich, and just leave these to it?
I'm just wondering why they're talking so much about Canada Dry and not enough about me.
Because you're just a mid-card,
you're the man.
jabroni. That's why. Because we talk about top tier level here.
You did not call
BTW the world champion, because that's where the prestigious one belongs.
I'm so sorry.
Former, right? Former.
Maybe I didn't read right. I never saw a world championship. Maybe just
on the first line, Dolly. Maybe if you read the accolades clear enough,
what
something
year?
that you've never been able to win.
I've been in this for 6 months. Give me time.
Then come back to me when you've decided to win a world championship.
I got you. Don't you worry. I got you.
Wow, I feel the tension here. Wow. This is really, really tension.
Tell you what, Dolly, I'm not about playing games. I'm all about speaking facts. Maybe you and I need to get in a match next week.
Sounds like it.
Differences.
Because
I would love to be the special guest referee.
Do it.
I ain't about dealing with that PCB worth of nothing. How about I see you in a 9 Lives match? And Rich Southwood, you can be a special guest referee.
Can I be on commentary?
Book it now.
Right. Well, you've seen my record in a 9 Lives match. So have at it, by all means.
Do it. Can I be on commentary?
100%.
Hell yes. I just want a front row seat.
else.
That's why I want to be the referee, because I got to get a part of this action. This is going to be great.
I never have anyone else.
Wow. This is really, really good. Right. So we've got some more general questions now.
2 people on Team Dollywood. And you're by yourself.
Do you not read the description? Do you not know who you're dealing with? Do you not know that I am the prestigious one?
Do you not know what a joke you are?
The prestigious one.
The prestigious one. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
I'll teach you a lesson to be humble.
Okay.
I'll teach you a lesson to really what it means to be part of AFW. And I will teach you what I am the one to be fit.
Rich, you got your popcorn, baby?
Okay,
My
right.
boy.
So, I'm going to settle this once and for all, right? I've got a little timer here called 60-second call out. So, we're going to have a little bit of fun, right?
Do I need
Dominoes.
60 seconds? I'm sorry, Lynn, do I need 60 seconds?
Yes, you do. You're going to have
Yeah,
60
according to your girlfriend, that's all you need.
Wow, she went there.
I got some aloe vera.
Is that all your boyfriend needs to? Is he quick to the finish as well?
He's actually waiting for me, so we should really wrap this up.
Right, so let's get to the thing, right? So we're going to have 60 seconds on the clock. You can talk as much smack as you want about the other person, but keep it PG, no language. Who wants to go first?
Let's let Rach go first.
No, it's you. Your two. This is yours. Your two are having a match. This is between your two. Okay. So
What,
Lou,
me?
yes, so you're going to have 60 seconds on the clock. You can talk as much smack as you want about Mr. Walsh there, and Walsh can't respond. You ready?
Okay.
60 seconds and counting. Go.
Mr. Walsh, I appreciate you coming here, showing your face, showing your dollar store shades. I appreciate that. And I am honestly so glad that your mom paid your internet bill this month so that you could even be here today. But I hope so much that you realize what you're going against this week. Do you really think that you're going to beat any of this? Do you really think that you're going to beat any of my friends, anyone in my faction? Do you really think you have the skill? Do you really think that you can do anything to beat Dollywood, to beat the face of the women's division? I am the person to beat. I am AFW's women's division. So I just hope you have several seats before you decide to go against any other girl in my group.
And that wraps it up. Wow. So, Walsh, back to you. So you got 60 seconds. You can talk as much smack, and Dollywood can't respond. You ready? 60 seconds. Go.
You've only been part of this thing for 6 months, Dolly.
Sorry, what?
You've only been part of our group, all of this for 6 months. You want to prove yourself? Beat me. Beat me in a match that you're good at. And prove yourself, son. Now, I have a message to send that I can beat this Dollywood nobody. Anyone who thinks they can try. Anyone who thinks they are worthy of being the man or woman or whoever they want to be, they come to me. And as for Caleb, keep watching. Until Wednesday, Dolly. See you Wednesday. Boom!
Boom. Rich, I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it.
Hang on. Rich, love ya. Hang on. I didn't call anyone else out. I didn't do any sort of copyright infringement. I let Dustin Rhodes have his way with. You need to have several seats. Gold does. All right, Rich, let's hear ya.
Am I on the 60 seconds now, Liam?
Do you want to? You can have a go 60 seconds if you want.
All right.
Right, 60 seconds on the clock. Go.
I would like to take this opportunity to once again remind everyone I am the first ever 2-time Limitless champion. And I don't know if I think right now I just beat that boy Stunna in stunning fashion. And now his tag partner, Harry, thinks he wants a piece too. I'm ready for the match. Are you ready to lose your life? That's what's going to happen when you step in the squared circle with the pinnacle of perfection. And Foundation, I haven't forgot about you either. Austin Lee, Andrew Brown, Michael Smith. You've all got receipts coming, so don't worry. But I would keep a eye closed when you're asleep, if you know what I'm saying, because I'll strike when you least expect it. And then soon, once I make my 7 defenses, I will be coming for the AFW World Champion from Magic Donnie, and he knows it's coming. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Interesting. That wraps it up. Wow. So a few little more questions we begin to wind down. Dollywood, what's the goals for the rest of the season?
My most important goal right now, the only thing I'm focused on, is scraping the floor with this guy. He doesn't even deserve to have his name said. That's all I'm concerned about this week. And if you'll show some of the comments, I think everyone agrees.
Yes. Effing Wrestling says Dollywood for the win. Effing Wrestling says Dollywood 20, Luke 7. Damn, everybody's digging these. Luke, what's your goals for the rest of the season?
This isn't about a popularity contest, Dolly. This isn't about getting everyone bored. It's about winning. Not beating your opponent. Not proving you're better than the other person. My goals for this year, maybe I want the AFW World title back around my waist. But I take my opponents one step at a time. I'll deal with Dollywood and show her why I'm the man not to be messed with. Then I'll come.
And that's sweet how he says that.
If you let me finish,
he's a
you
man.
Dollywood piece of trash. If you let me finish, then I'll turn my attention to Caleb. Then I'll turn my attention to the foundation.
I'm so sorry. I'm having such a hard time. Don't mind me while I do my Christian Cage. Where's Caleb? Didn't you already beat him? Aren't you so proud that
I took him out, but I'm ready for him to come back at me. I'm ready for him to try and prove to me why he's Mr. AFW.
Right here, me and you, this is what you should be concerned about.
Prove yourself,
but
Dolly.
if you want to be concerned about your previous opponent,
prove yourself why you should be the woman of AFW. Prove yourself.
Wow.
Nancy Benoit was a wonderful woman. You can call me woman all effing day, and I'll be fine with it.
Yep. Rich, what's your goals, mate, for the rest of the season?
Goals are pretty simple, really. Earn myself a spot in the Hall of Fame, win the AFW World Championship after my successful Limitless Championship reign, and then just continue to show everyone why I am the pinnacle of perfection, and I am the one and only superstar, Lord Ryan Rich.
Awesome.
How about winning the better title, Rich? How about winning the proper top tier title rather than the mid card nothing?
You want to know why? I'll tell you why, Mr. Walsh. It's called something called entertainment. Because I give the fans what they want. They want to see me start from the bottom, and they want to see me ascend all the way to the top. So that's what I'm going to give them, buddy.
I'm the one that gives the promos more regularly than you, so I'm the one that entertains them and gives them a show. I put the people who are deserving of a fight.
No one deserves to fight me because I'm obviously better than them all anyways. I'm doing you a service by even being here.
As someone who is a regular on every AFW podcast, I've specifically asked to be on a podcast with Rich. Never once have I asked to be on a podcast with you. Well, I think maybe you should have several seats.
Interesting. Wow.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind his confidence or his arrogance or whatever it is you want to call it. But don't disrespect me in the process. I'm not someone to stomp on your way to the top, buddy. I'm a roadblock. I'm the one who prevents you from getting there.
I have a real hard time seeing him at the top. I don't.
Well, then
listen. He won the championship. I'll give the man his flowers. He won. Good for him.
Rich. Once I've done with this Dollywood nothing. Maybe you might want to put your title on the line against me. How about that, son?
I mean, I've got a line, but sure, you can hop in it.
Eventually, you might get there.
Because then maybe you might be able to see what a true champion looks like. Yes,
I already do every day when I look in the mirror.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was born championship material. I wasn't bred. I was born this way.
Well, you know.
Absolutely. The pinnacle of perfection. Has been doing this for like 20 plus years, guy.
Right.
When you're still suckling at your mom's teeth. So maybe respect your elders a little bit.
Right. So I will be right. I'm going to leave you guys off the chat. I'll be right back.
Wild.
Respect and elders.
So, okay, our referee's gone. So why don't you have to say whatever it is you might have to say?
What do I have to say? I've said pretty much everything I need to say. I've addressed everyone that I need to address. Because I don't mince my words, Dolly. I don't dress and use fake words to attack people. I go to the truth. I attack people where it hurts and I make it stick. See, one thing that came up in the accolades board when Dallas brought me over to the true AFW brand, I regained my confidence because I had a GM that actually gave me the booking and the detail I deserved. No more being booked in meaningless belts every week, but matches that mattered, matches that entertained, matches that actually mean something. So when I come on here,
But yet you still continue to just talk about Caleb.
I'm not talking about Caleb, I'm
Congratulations.
talking about you.
You beat Caleb.
I'm talking about your Dollywood piece of nothing.
All right, folks. Hey, as your official referee for this match, save it for the ring.
Don't you worry. I will absolutely take it out on him in the ring.
Do you know the fun part was? I've literally just sat back and just left you guys to it, and this was really, really fun.
It's great. I enjoy every time I get to share the screen with you, sir.
Not a problem. Right, so we'll wrap this up. Save it all for Wednesday. Any final words from Walsh?
See you Wednesday, dumbass. From the prestigious one. You're going down. Boom.
Awesome. Any final words from Dollywood?
As someone who didn't have to steal anything from any mediocre wrestlers for my whole life, I'd just like to give 2 words to ya.
Wow. And F1 Wrestling says it feels like a real wrestling show. It probably is. Any final words from Rich?
Yes. Final words. First of all, I would just like to say thank you for allowing me to share the screen with you guys today. It was an absolute honor and privilege. So after that, I would just like to say continue watching Mayhem every Wednesday because the pinnacle of perfection, superstar Lord Ryan Rich, will continue to dominate and continue to entertain and continue to be the best damn wrestler in the whole promotion.
Wow. Wow. That's really, really wise words. So don't forget you can head to effingwrestling.com. You can find all our social medias on there. No, right at the bottom. There we go. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Pretty much everywhere, right? If you like t-shirts, you can head to prowrestlingtees.com/effingwrestling. You can buy yourself a AFW shirt, the All Effing Wrestling shirt, the lovely shirt what Rich South was wearing there. Do you know what I mean? We've got shirts absolutely everywhere. But of course, we're going to end up with something really, really serious. Don't forget to tune into the All Effing Wrestling show tomorrow for a lovely tribute show to the late, great Jay Briscoe. That's all from me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Magic Man out.